Okay, hi everybody. I'm Lydia Middleton. I'm the Executive Director of ASIST, and I am here today with Ann Barker, who is a candidate for Director at Large of the ASIST Board. Welcome, Ann.
Thank you, Lydia.
So I'm going to ask you just a few questions, give you a chance to let the ASIST electorate know a bit more about who you are. And then if there's anything else at the end that we haven't talked about, I'll give you a chance to mention that. So let's
Okay.
roll. Let's roll on in. So tell us, you are a new member of ASIS as a result of the merger with SLA. So, what made you decide that continuing on into ASIS as a member of ASIS was going to be the right move for you professionally and personally?
So I think that I have just seen so much promise and like the truly sincere efforts amongst the ASIST leadership and membership to integrate the what I'll call legacy SLA membership. And I've also had the opportunity to see firsthand the working relationship amongst the board, how thoughtful they are and how willing they are to share their perspectives and views and topics in the meetings. And again, their real commitment to welcoming us as new members. Frankly, it's a much more well-run association that I've had the privilege of being involved with for a while. So all of that combined with just all of the really vibrant programming offerings that I've seen, it seems to me like it's a place where the legacy SLA members really can bring our practitioner perspective and thrive. And for those who still have any remaining energy, their efforts are really I'm seeing it being put to use and I'm seeing it being productive and appreciated. And all of that made me think that, renewing as a new ASIS member who got transitioned in from SLA, going ahead and renewing, it seemed just like the right place to be for me.
Well, we're glad you did. So tell us, what particular skills and experience would you bring to your role on the ASIS board?
So obviously, most of my prior association experience has been with SLA. I joined SLA in 2001, started volunteering in 2002, and never really stopped. I've held a volunteer role for the entire 25 years that I've been a member of SLA. Among other roles, I've served as the president of my local chapter and the treasurer of the Leadership and Management Development Division. Sorry, I'm just going to say LMD. I was also a director on the SLA Board of Directors, and currently I'm serving as the president-elect for SLA as we continue just to wrap up that business of dissolution, just because we haven't officially dissolved yet. I'm also right now one of the two non-voting directors that were appointed to the ASIST board from last fall until this upcoming election. I've also been serving concurrently as the board liaison to the scholarship committee, and I was a member of the planning committee for the recent ISS SLC. So that's kind of my experience. Some of the skills that I bring are really I see a lot of value in soft skills. And some of the key strengths that I tend to bring to roles like a director role are as a consensus builder. I like to make up words, so I'm going to say contextualizer, not certain if that's actually a word, and an interpreter. I work really well with others. I dig in. I put the emphasis on getting the work done. And I also know how to delegate, how to listen, and how to advocate for my views. Um, Most of all, I come prepared and I ask questions that need to be asked, and I try to really make people think things through so that we can make the best decision, the most well-informed decision that we can in the moment.
I absolutely underscore everything you just said. My experience working with you on the board so far has, particularly the you come prepared piece of it. I've been just so impressed by you. Okay, moving on. I should be biasing this process. All right. As you know, ACES launched a new strategic plan this last year in November. What aspects of the plan do you see as the highest priority, and where do you see yourself contributing to that?
So obviously, my personal biases will tend to lean a lot on the things that have to do with integrating the SLA membership and building a robust and successful ISS SLC going forward. In terms of specifics on the strategic plan, in that regard, I'm interested in tactic 3.2.1, which is introducing the students, today's students, to kind of the broad range of opportunities that are available in the practitioner space. And similarly, just an expansion of the practitioner-focused educational events. I could list out all of those specific tactics, but let's just say that the things that have a lot to do with kind of broadening the scope to include the practitioner side and bringing the SLA members in would be places where I think I can contribute my perspective and experience. I'm also, though, really a fan of clear policies, procedures, and governance, and I really love a good editing opportunity. So I can see myself assisting with the tactic that has to do with this, providing step-by-step resources for people who are interested in volunteer opportunities. I'm also have always really been a big advocate of understanding and recognizing the importance of volunteers. And there's a section in the strategic plan about recognizing ACE volunteers throughout the year and at the annual meeting. And I'd also add that there's a great recognition opportunity at the ISS/SLC to be had.
Yeah.
And then finally, I'll emphasize tactic 5.3.1 and the related, I believe it's 5.3.2, which has to do with public policy. As I mentioned, I've held a lot of volunteer roles throughout the years with SLA, but the one that brought me into that as a service opportunity and that was my longest consistent position was a very early role as the government relations chair for the San Francisco Bay Region chapter of SLA, and as I was a member and then chair of the Public Policy Advisory Committee of SLA back when they had such a thing. Keeping up with public policies in the US and around the world is really challenging, and it's even more so now than it was, but that also means it's grown in importance. And while we do need to rely on staff to help us know where we as an association can engage, I really strongly believe that we should engage when we can. So having some say into the public policy sphere, developing that good process for how members in the association can confidently and quickly move forward when there's a need to publish policy briefs and white papers on current issues. That's something that really speaks to me.
Oh, that's terrific. That will help us so much. Okay. So those are my sort of main questions. What have we not touched upon? What would you like the ASIST membership to know about you before they decide to cast their vote?
I think, obviously I'm new to the vast majority of ASIST members. I have I'm not shy about speaking my mind. Um, so you would get to know me along the course of time. But I didn't transition my membership to ASIST and renew my membership with any kind of intent to run for the board of ASIST, at least not this soon. I really had thought I'd give it a few years, get comfortable with ASIST, structure the governance, and start working my way through as I did with SLA and committee and chapter work primarily. But I've really been encouraged so far by the association's efforts to really welcome in the SLA members and see this as an opportunity to build an association home via this merger. So I'm excited to be a part of it, but I'm also going to recognize in advance that I have blind spots and I am ignorant about a lot of how ASIST does things and about ASIST history. And I don't mean, the stuff you put on the About ASIST page. I mean that unwritten lived experience, the things that I'm so familiar with after 25 years with SLA. So I'm ready to learn all of that, and I will apologize for any missteps that I make along the way, but I will always approach the role with and the members with good intent. And I hope the members will assume that there is good intent in all of our interactions.
That's terrific. Well, thank you. I wish you the best of luck, and we will see what the outcome is.
All right. Thank you so much, Lydia. Appreciate your time.